Hello everyone, Pulse here, and welcome to another episode of Forging Fantasy EverQuest Next. Now today we're going to talk a little bit about the newest clips shown at PAX Prime 2013. So let's just jump right into it, shall we? So for those who may have missed the clips in question, here they are. This first one is going to be of the movement system in place. Or more importantly, the additions they made to the movement. We've seen a little bit of how you can kind of run and get over terrain as the player character, and they're just showing off a lot more with it. As you can see, there's tons of kind of flipping around and almost trick flips, very parkour kind of movement going on here. There's some sliding around on the terrain, and it all looks fairly cool, looks a lot of fun and awesome. Now the second clip here, let me see, is a time-lapse video of someone in EverQuest Next Landmark using the creative tools in a different way than we've seen previously, where they're actually kind of warping the terrain and adding elements of nature to it, such as rocks, and we see the lava, and how he's adding like cracks where the magma is pouring through the rock and then revealing the lava to the environment. You can see it looks like maybe some rocks or trees that look like rocks, very dark and dingy, kind of I don't know, hidden away lava sort of layer going on with this. It just looks very cool, and the tools of creation that are shown off with Landmark every time they give us a little peek, it just looks more and more impressive with each showing. So let's get into the clip, shall we? Let's discuss them a little bit. So first off, you guys seen the movement system in the new edition? I think it looks great, and when you kind of couple this footage alongside the previously shown movement video, you can see with the high leaps and the magical glide and the slow fall ability we've seen combined with these flips and things, I think character movement may actually be somewhat enjoyable instead of a monotonous and kind of boring mess that movement is. When it comes to MMO character movement, it's always very boring, and if you're stuck running on foot, it becomes kind of this a very drawn out process of boredom, and hopefully this is kind of their way to combat that, because putting a player on the ground and having them run very far distances, and the way to make it quote unquote fun is by making them fight tons and tons of mobs on their path, just isn't fun. So I'm glad to see that they're kind of doing something a little bit different. Now, one of the questions that did get asked pretty much immediately after SOE showed off this little bit of footage involving the movement, they got lots of questions kind of about, is this replacing mounts? Are mounts not in the game then? Is this system just going to trivialize mounts? And SOE kind of came out pretty quickly and said, no, that mounts will still be in the game, and we shouldn't worry about mounts being trivialized and that sort of thing, that there will be purpose to these mounts that we all want besides just the novelty or the role play of it all. It does beg the question though, when you kind of think about it, when they say no, it won't trivialize them, because with how fast the characters are moving, that lady is like kind of flying through the sky and flipping over mountains and just doing all kinds of crazy stuff and moving with a lot of speed. It does make me wonder how quick and more importantly how mobile, like how fast are mounts going to move around corners and turn, and are there going to have animations in place to actually make them turn? How fast are these mounts going to be if they're going to not be trivialized by the movement shown here? I would really hate for them to, just for the sake to keep this true about them not being quote unquote trivialized, turn them into like glorified ATVs or something, where you just hit a rock and your horse or whatever you're riding on essentially turns into an ATV or motorbike, and you just go flying off this rock as if it was a ramp. I would really hate to see horses flying through the sky like some crazy mechanisms or something. That would just be really world-breaking to me. One of the other things though is if they are able to keep down like the whole verticality of it, I think is one of the big things that's going to keep the immersion in place. I hope they don't make both the character movement and the mount speeds so quick that this whole illusion of size that they have going in this grand game world that they've created and their engine creates, I really hope that they don't have it going too far, because if you move too quickly, you can easily lose the sense of scale. Anyone that's played WoW and has done a flying mount can tell you that this is the case. both because you get above the terrain, which could be a problem if you're able to jump so high in this game, and two, just the ability to move so quickly that you're able to pass over multiple zones and multiple areas. It just doesn't feel that big anymore, and it kind of loses its luster. So hopefully they don't let it get out of control. But speaking of immersion, let's talk a little bit about that landmark clip. As you guys seen during that little short time-lapse video, there's quite a bit of world editing in terms of landscape, and then the ability to add and subtract the different elements of nature, kind of like the lava, and the ability to kind of put down large chunks of rock and maybe even put down full mountainsides. I really find the ability to add rocks and that sort of thing, and the ability to just put all of the lava pool and really tweak the environment is really cool. And it at first I kind of seen this and was like, wow, landmark just it looks great. It just has tons of ridiculously cool building tools going in place, and I was kind of in awe of it all, and I really started to imagine the possibilities that could come along with this. And then as I thought about it, I kind of had more questions that came into my head. One of the first was, why is he building this? Why would he be building kind of this layer area by a lava pool? What is a point of building this kind of lava-filled layer? Or wait, maybe it's not a layer, maybe it's a dungeon. And then I kind of went, holy shit, can we make our own dungeons? And then it was just from there I kind of started thinking, well, what if they implement systems similar to Neverwinter's Foundry system, where they have the style of customization where you can add NPCs and add like the lore and story that's really gives a sense of roleplay, and it really lets you add so much to the game world when you can add that interaction between NPCs and stuff. And that, coupled with the landmark tools that we've seen so far, I was just like, wow, what could we possibly do with this game if all of this comes together in a way that I hope it does? And I have to say, this is all 100% speculation, guys. This isn't anything that I can say for sure is going to come. And honestly, it's wishful thinking at this point. There's just so many questions going on with EverQuest Next. But I have to ask you guys, how awesome would it be if SOE allowed, at least in some capacity, to implement player-created dungeons into Landmark, and then from there into EverQuest Next, the MMO? Maybe dungeon-like areas created in Landmark can be integrated into the MMO through their contests or something. Maybe that's what they're going for here, that you can dig out your little area and then show the developers in their like contests, or maybe if you just get so popular, they'll put it into the game. And the possibilities are just, they're fantastic with Landmark and EverQuest Next, and it's one of the reasons I'm really interested. It's one of the reasons it just really piqued my interest and my sort of longing to find out more for the game. It's just really interesting to me, the possibilities with EverQuest Next. But yeah, that'll do it for me, guys. A fairly short one today, since there were no roundtable questions, sadly, to tackle. But hopefully we'll find some more, and that'll go into future videos. Hopefully you guys found this video enjoyable and somewhat informative. Thanks so much for watching again, and if you enjoyed this video even a little bit, I would much appreciate a thumbs up, a subscribe, a comment down below on pretty much anything pertaining to the video or to EverQuest Next or anything gaming really. And yeah, thanks again for watching. This has been Pulse, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.